I mean, it's what I've lived my whole life, so I don't know that I know any different. But if I were to do college again, I don't think I would. I don't think I could go without playing 2 sports.
Schmelzer completes the 3-point play. Dual athlete here at Milwaukee, also a very good soccer player. Rising League Freshman of the Year 2 years ago. Led the team in minutes. Goal scorer, one of the top goal scorers for Milwaukee in her first 2 seasons. And as you mentioned, careens from one sport to the other.
Kind of like a old-time story. When I was like 4 or 5, my sister, she's older than me, she got into like cheer and dance, and I like went to some of her performances or whatever, and I was like, man, like that seems boring, or like I just didn't like it. And so my parents got me into soccer, basketball, volleyball, stuff like that, and I just loved it from the beginning.
So my 3 older sisters played basketball from when I can remember, so I guess that's just why I started to play basketball, because I wanted to be like them. Track is kind of a funny story. One of the coaches, maybe my first or second day of high school, came into my math class and said, "You're doing track." I was like, okay, cool. And then I've never let it go since.
I mean, my head coaches and stuff have done a really good job with it, but I think my parents especially have, I don't know, been so supportive, and were never the ones to judge me if I had a bad game, or they're just always there. And they took me everywhere. They just made my experience a good one, and so it made me want to keep with it.
I would say any coach I have has really pushed me. I've had a couple, including Coach Rex, that have really taken me under their wing and make sure I'm up to my best potential.
Well, like I said, my first year definitely helped me learn expectations, and especially for basketball, because I don't know, I don't want to say, it is just a lot different than soccer. Like, you have to know more about the other team and all that preparation. I don't know, it's just taking one day at a time, to be honest, and just focusing on what that day has, like if it's 2 practices or 1, or I don't know, it's just focusing on that one day. You can't really look too far ahead into things.
It gets hard. I would say my sophomore and junior year, when it was the same thing over again, it was a little bit harder to get that fire in me, but knowing that this is my last year for potentially either, I think that really sets a spark in me.
I don't know, going through my day, I'm not that type of negative person, really, so having good thoughts and knowing that I can do it, and knowing that I have been through it before. And just last year, basketball-wise, I had a lot of workouts, a lot of extra workouts, and I think that really helped me to just know that this year I'm playing, so it's different, and I can do anything, especially since I got through last year.
Well, my hair would tell you it makes it gray, but I think I perform better under pressure, whether that's school, whether that's having a deadline, or having to be somewhere at some time. I think it helps me perform better.
I would say time management, just because there's so many practices and games and stuff like that, and just finding the time to get extra things in. And on top of that, school. It gets harder and harder with the classes, but just in social life too. I mean, you gotta have some time for yourself and all that stuff, so. I come in with basketball, and then preseason for soccer, so it's I'm not doing really any basketball. But then when the school year starts, I'm still doing stuff, but it's really not the same compared to what everyone else is doing. So I struggled coming in for basketball, because there's only so much I can do. I still have school and all that stuff on top of it. But I think my first year definitely helped me out a lot, just redshirting and being able to take time to get better and get used to it. So.
A lot of us as student athletes sometimes get consumed with the stress that we're in, and there's a lot of it, but I think we forget sometimes about how lucky we are, and I feel even more lucky that I have the opportunity to play 2 sports.